Okay, so let's look at our wide shot. You're very uncomfortable and your hands show it and they're just kind of here. And you know what, being nervous, it'll never go away. So let's just talk about ways that we can mitigate and make everything look better.
Okay.
You should keep your hands in your lap.
Okay.
So you can remember that. Sit up straighter and sit towards the front of your chair. The one thing, especially sometimes with women, is the chairs are bigger than us, and we want.
My legs are really
it's
short.
Just, and your legs are short. It's just a part of life. If your legs are short and you're in a big chair, you can always ask for a stool or books or something under your feet. Don't feel bad about asking for that. Most studios have it around. They will put something under your feet for you if they can't see your feet on the shot. The next thing is even if you're asking the questions, you've got some room in your spine. You can lift yourself up. I can see it, and there you go. You just took more space. Because part of the goal here is you want to fill the screen. You don't want your chair. And just small tweaks like that, lifting of your spine slightly, it probably brought you a little, so I can't give an exact dimension, but it changed the dimension of you in the shot. And by you moving your hands away, it focuses on you and not your hands that are so nervous. You can keep them as tightly wound up you want under the table.
2015 lost limbs, and that number will
So let's stop here. First of all, the room will definitely notice the difference in your third take when you opened. So when you said 2001, just tell us how many years.
Okay.
When you go from a year to year, just do the math for us, and make sure, like, when you're looking at your notes, especially for print report, you probably could write that, but go through and do the calculations for people, because we just don't like math. You know, if you can reduce numbers, even ages, years, and say senior citizens, more mature adults, those living in retirement communities, like whatever demographic. But when you say 60, my mind has to think through 60. Who do I know that's 60? Oh, my mom was 60. And so my mind has done all that, but you're already on to your next sentence.
Okay.
And when you said the year span, I'm doing the math and not listening to you. The one thing is you have a soft voice, and I am cursed with my voice too, and it's often it's described as soft or whatever. It's I basically can't prank call people. So how do you work on expanding your voice to bring more presence to your interview, right? So part of that is getting the voice down and part of that's through in your diaphragm, but also using your entire nasal, like basically using everything but bringing your voice down. So your voice is high, it's higher in your body. And so you're going to help us do this too, because no one wants to do this by themselves. So we're going to stand up. Okay. And we're going to hum Happy Birthday. Okay.
Can't wait.
It's going to be a lot of fun because there's some choreography with it. But for those people in the room who are going to laugh at us, but here's the point. If you are nervous, you're stressed, or you have a voice that's described as soft, small, high, unique, all kinds of things, this helps you bring that resonance to your voice. Or let's say you have a head cold, which happens to everyone, okay? So we're going to hum Happy Birthday, and we're going to do it with some special choreography. You may want to move away from your table because we're going to drop down. So we're going to go, ready? We're going to go.
Why am I affiliated with this camera?
Did you hear it up in your nose?
Yes.
Did you hear it drop when you went? And if you don't have time for a full Happy Birthday, go to the ladies' room and because this
hang my head down there.
Yeah, and hum. Okay. I use Happy Birthday because it's a good song and everyone knows it. Yeah. But actually, it brings a lot of relaxation to your voice when you're Doesn't that feel good?
We looked at the 401k breakdowns of financial companies, and
so let's remember what they did in our previous group, where they backed the car in. You're like, well, we looked at this and this and this, and we just want to know what you found, what you discovered. We want to know the news, and then let us know how you found it. Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to provide proof on why what I'm about to tell you is valid and real, and let me justify it. Well, if you're sitting in this chair, we don't need that. We don't need that you went out and did all this work, because that's why you're here. Hit us with the news, tell us what it is, and then explain, if you need to, your methods for gathering it. But chances are, we would rather have you tell us about more interesting things that you found. You automatically, in that chair, as a journalist, have all the credit that you need, all the credentials we believe you, so you don't need to tell us the methodology.
So, James, you've been writing a lot about natural gas lately. What can you tell us?
Well, there's... Sorry, can you do that one more time?
So what is it that tripped you up?
I just didn't have it straight in my head. I have it straight in my head now.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So what happens if you don't have it straight in your head, and your mind does that to you, and you're on set live?
And then you just keep talking.
Yeah.
Okay. So essentially, there's been a huge demand for natural gas from the nation's power industry, but all of a sudden that looks like it could be coming to an end.
So essentially, there's been a major demand for natural gas, and that could be coming to an end.
Yeah.
That is what you've practiced in your car. That's what you've talked out loud before you ever get there. So you know in your head you've got I always have 2 or 3 different ways to get into the interview, that you've got because you know that she's going to interview you about your reporting on natural gas. So you don't have to go the struggle. And if you trip yourself up, you've got a backup sentence to go to. So if it wasn't the demand, the business of natural gas is about to, grow significantly. So you have a couple different ways to say it when you're on the set. And if a light's right in your eye or anything is making you uncomfortable, to speak up and tell the crew that something's not right, or else you're going to struggle for the next, especially if it's one of those 20-minute interviews and the light is right in your eye. It's a simple fix, but they often don't know unless you tell them. So raise your hand and let them know. Being quiet at this phase and feeling like I just have to put up with the pain for the next 20 minutes is not the answer. It's not the way to go. Let them know. Anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, speak up before you hit air.
Acosta also
do you feel yourself meandering? You're starting to struggle because right there you had a very good ending. You had a strong out of the gate, and then you needed to take a breath. You're pulling from your brain, and that was been a great time to just stop and let him pick up.
Oh, okay, so we can just stop talking and...
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't have to keep going. This isn't a marathon. He can jump in and interview, and part of it too is you've got to stop. You've got to give them the opportunity to know that you're done. And a lot of people will just keep talking because they got to feel like they have to fill airtime, or there's some clock that they have to meet. But you got a great and right there to say, I can't remember your last few words, but just end it. And that he'll know in a split second to jump in. 7 out of 9. You look at what your findings were. 2016 was last year. Anything you can do to get rid of numbers. 7 out of 9 may be important, but could you say the majority or close to the vast majority? Anything you can do like that helps take it.
There's obviously a little bit of a disconnect with people. They like what's going on in their local government. They follow that a lot. They like to pay attention to what's going on.
So a part of it is you have a cadence. It's vary it, because you have a lot of information getting out. It's out, but it's varying the cadence. So she knows where to jump in, because sometimes I can tell the end, but then I can't tell the end. So part of it is, and it's nerves or the way I don't know how you speak normally, but making sure that you have the cadence that stops and pauses. So you make an important point, and then you pick back up. So you give, because right now you're sending so much information at me, which is probably good for the first answer. But the second answer, I need a little bit more time for you to breathe in what you're saying, because I'm trying to take it all in, but it just keeps coming. So
rats.
Yeah, because why did you stumble?
My brain and my heart both skipped a beat at the same time.
Okay.
So.
Did you think she was going to throw it to
I kind of did.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't think she was going to go right back to you, right?
Right, no.
Right, because you say, well, this person, they need their turn.
Right.
Never assume that. Always assume she's going to grill
didn't
you.
realize I should've gone sequentially.
Yeah, especially if you're saying crazy things.
Okay. I was saying crazy things.
Yeah, no, you weren't. But
okay.
sometimes if you're in, a lot of times for these round tables, someone gets cast as the outlier, okay? And you never know who you are.
Yeah.
And if you say something that does not agree with everyone else, they're going to probably go back to you again. It's just that role of the outlier, which is a whole nother thing to do media training towards. So, but that's what got you.
Yeah.
So how do you fix that next time?
Be prepared.
Okay, I'll let you pick up your interview. So that's a really crummy place to be, right? You don't know where to go. You're looking down. You have to watch the ping pong ball. When you're in that center seat, she just threw the ball to him. He's got it. You got to watch it. And you can't look down because then you automatically decided either you're bored with him or you don't like what he said or you think he's a jerk. But whatever, when you look down and they caught you on that wide shot, it means there's something about him you don't like.
Everything I like.
Yeah.
Everything I like.
Okay, so the best way to deal with it is just watch the ping pong ball. So she threw it to him, he's got it. He's going to throw it back to her, you're going to listen to her, and then she's going to throw it to you. So that's how the ping pong ball approach works, and it helps solve. And even if you're off, you shouldn't be off in your own head, but even if you are, just keep looking at him and then looking at him. But what does it do? It prevents you from having the moment he just had because you're watching the ball and you're ready for it to come right at you.
The Homeland
So
Security.
you don't want to answer like that. What's wrong with your shot? Look at yourself. You're how are you? Oh, that's it.
Oh,
Like your
crossed.
legs are crossed.
Okay.
That's not a good thing.
No, it caused her whole body to tilt over, so it made her look like she was like relaxing on. It made her look like she's sitting in an aisle seat on the plane where she's trying to get far away. So there you go. Okay. So let's try it again.
Do I repeat the question?
Yeah.
Oh,
just
sorry.
throw her something to talk.
You've been writing about the Department of Homeland Security's biometric data collection system and some problems with it. Can you tell us more about that?
The Homeland Security Department is very behind.
Okay, look at your shot. You're far back. Look at the depth between you and the table.
Oh, should move closer.
Well, it's not just you moving up, but it's also you moving closer in your chair. There you go.
Okay.
See the difference. See the difference between you and the chair. See how it creates that depth? Fills out the screen. There you go. Now you own the shot. Okay.
In favor of Tillerson.
So that was a very good answer. And the other thing, from just a pure aesthetic point of view, notice how you were different. You were relaxed. You had both hands on the table, which I knew in your first answer you
Well,
wanted.
yeah, I don't know.
I knew you wanted your other hand on the table because
Is
you were
there-
talking with one.
Well, is there like a no? Is
No.
it whatever
with
is
your
comfortable?
So if you talk with your hands, just put them on the table. If you're a nervous person who does not talk with their hands and they're going to be clasped really tight, put your hands under the table.
Okay.
But if you put your hands under the table, make sure you stand up straight, or stand up,
okay.
your posture
Yeah.
straight, or else your hands will bring you down.